Hi, I'm restoring a 57 Austin Healey, and one of the things I really wanted to do was install a trailer hitch on it. It's relatively obscure, I know, it's a real low British car, but I looked on the web and I wanted the ability to either haul a small trailer, which probably won't happen, or more importantly for me, was attach either a bike rack to it or a ski rack. And so to be able to put a hitch on it, a receiver hitch, this is just a class 1, is kind of a big deal. There's just nothing on the web explaining how to do this, although people have clearly solved it. So I went out to the British car forums, and Randy Forbes gave me thanks Randy, gave me a really nifty idea, which was to attach to to the ends of the rear cross member. And so what I did is, and I'm going to kind of show you the process, is I bought a trailer hitch off of a 1990 through 94 Volkswagen Passat. So this is the instruction sheet that came with it. It's a Kurt brand. And the reason I bought it was because it was cheap. Amazon had it on sale for $29. It was a closeout. And shipped to my door. I couldn't afford not to. So I'm going to flip the car over and I'll show you how it turned out. So I'm partway through my Austin Healey trailer hitch. Essentially what I want it to do is I want it to come off with just a couple of bolts. So what I did is I drilled out the end of the rear cross member, and I've welded up, excuse the poor welding, but essentially I welded on some captive nuts on the back of, I believe that's either 14 or 15 gauge steel. So that's going to fit on there. I'll plug weld it in place, and then I should have plenty of, these are 7/16 fine thread, and so I'll show you as I complete it. Okay, so that's about the best welding I can do. I think I'm pretty happy with it. I think once primer and paint, I haven't quite finished cleaning up the bottom, this bottom plug weld, but it's looking pretty good. And it's way strong, so I think it'll hold the weight I need it to. Certainly it's as strong as the rear cross member is. So this is the underside of the car with the hitch installed. And I don't imagine you're probably going to be able to find the same hitch I did, certainly not for that price, but it'll give you some ideas on how to solve it. So what I did is I showed in an earlier segment how I welded on the piece on the end with the cross member. This is just 1.5 inch steel strap, 1/4 inch. And this was, and there's one of these on each side, this is just a 1x2 steel tube, and it's 1/8 inch wall. It's really strong. Now you'll see I've scribed where I'm going to cut this piece down, just because that doesn't need to stick low. But the end result, oh, and this was the other modification I had to make. So this piece, ideally, bolted on the other side, I don't know, flipped on this plate. And I couldn't get it, I really wanted it sucked into the bottom of the chassis. So I just cut some slots, flipped it over, bolted it on. The thing is way strong, and I'm actually slightly unhappy that I have a 1/2 inch gap here. I'm probably gonna remake this piece and angle it slightly. But the result is a really strong trailer hitch, and I can attach it with these 4 bolts. So it'll probably very rarely be on the car, but if I do, I'll just pull these two and the 2 bolts on the other side, and it'll drop right off. And it's really strong. You absolutely cannot budge it. It's definitely as strong as the chassis. And obviously, I'm going to trim this down and grind it and put a little paint on it. But the end result is now I can keep working on the rest of my chassis, and I don't have to give this any more thought. And once it's primed and painted, it'll probably look like it was never modified, and that's kind of the goal. So. Your mileage may vary, but this is what I came up with, and I thought I'd document it since I really struggled to find documentation of what other people had done. I know it had been rare, but I'm really happy with this result. So good luck. Thanks.